Hey everyone, I want to share something a bit personal today. It's about education, how it shaped my own life, and what I'm hoping it can become, especially now, in the age of AI. So, let's get into it.
This quote, this really is the whole thing for me. I mean, think about it. As AI starts to handle more and more of the boring, routine stuff, we're going to have this incredible chance, right? A chance to shift education away from just being a tool to get a job, and instead turn it back into an experience, something that actually helps us live richer, more human lives.
So you might be wondering, where did this whole idea even come from? Well, for me, it all started with a single class, way back in middle school. It's funny, right? How a seemingly small thing can end up having such a huge impact on your whole life?
I know, it probably sounds like just boring memorization, but spending that year with those basic Chinese characters, it did something. It gave me this sense of connection, like it opened a door for me. It really sparked this lifelong curiosity and, honestly, a sense of pride in the huge, amazing history and culture of East Asia. And that's something I still carry with me. You know, that experience was my first real lesson in the power of what we call gojan in Korean. It means the classics, timeless wisdom. And I've really come to believe that diving into these foundational works is the absolute best way to connect with thousands of years of human experience. It's like tapping directly into something that truly endures.
Okay, so let's jump forward in time. We're in the 1980s, I'm in New York City, and I think I have my whole life planned out. But it was about to take a turn I never, ever saw coming. And honestly, it was a wonderful one.
You know, as the son of an immigrant family, the name of the game was security. It was all about finding a safe path. So what did I do? I picked engineering. It was super tough, had great job prospects. It was the smart choice. I really thought, okay, this is it. My future is set.
And then, surprise, I find out that Columbia has this mandatory core curriculum in the humanities for everybody. I was like, wait, what? I honestly just didn't get it. Here I am, this engineering student, ready to dive into math and science, and they're telling me I have to read ancient Greek tragedies? Why was I reading Homer?
But here's the thing. That class I thought was just this weird, pointless requirement. It turned out to be one of the greatest gifts of my entire education. Seriously, it wasn't a burden at all. It was the beginning of a whole new journey for me, one that I'm still on, to this day.
And I mean it really was a new world. This wasn't just about reading books for a grade. These classes, they threw open the doors to entire universes of art, music, and ideas that, let's be honest, I never would have explored on my own. It was just a truly incredible experience.
And they made it so immersive. So in our literature class, we were reading the big stuff, Plato, Homer, all the foundational texts. But then, for art and music, we didn't just sit in a classroom looking at pictures. No way. We were actually going to the amazing museums all over New York City. We were sitting in Lincoln Center listening to the New York Philharmonic. We were in it.
And the impact was just huge. I remember for my final paper in the music class, I chose to write about the composer Jean Sibelius. I just dove deep into his life and his music, and I found out that Finland's history had all these echoes of Korea's history. And I felt this powerful connection. It was more than just an assignment. And even now, when I hear his music, it just gets me. It stayed with me all these years.
So yeah, that whole experience really drove home a crucial lesson for me. It taught me the difference between the kind of knowledge that sticks with you, that actually makes your life richer, and the kind that's, well, just temporary. It actually reminds me of something the writer Nassim Taleb talks about. His idea is pretty simple. The longer something has been around, the longer it's likely to stay around. So if you build your whole worldview on, say, the latest personality test or some viral trend, you're basically building your house on sand. But something like Homer's Iliad, that's been around for millennia. That's bedrock. And that brings me to a worry I have today. It feels like, over the past few decades, a lot of universities have kind of lost their way. They've become so focused on churning out workers with marketable skills. It's all about the job market. And in the process, I think they've forgotten about the other side of education. The part that's supposed to cultivate your inner life, you know? The part that deepens your humanity. But okay, that brings me all the way back to where I started. Back to my hope. Because even with all those concerns, I honestly believe this new age of AI gives us a reason to be incredibly optimistic. Seriously, here's my real hope. My wish is that AI is going to free us up. It's going to take over the grunt work and give us back our time, our mental space. And with that space, we can finally start to appreciate all the profound, beautiful things that our ancestors have created over thousands and thousands of years.
And this is so important to me. Things like art, music, literature, they're not supposed to be luxuries for a select few. They're not. They are our shared inheritance as human beings. My hope is that they can become a real public good, something that everyone can tap into to find a little more joy, a little more meaning in their lives.
Because here's the amazing thing. When you give people the time, the space, the quiet, we find that we just naturally respond to beauty. It's built into us. It's part of who we are. And discovering that response in yourself, that is an absolutely wonderful, irreplaceable human experience. And maybe, just maybe, that's what education should really be all about.